sixth installment in the series of 7 firm reasons why we have not found Atlantis yet is the loss of historical books and burnt libraries. History is littered with tragic stories of destroyed libraries, either from invading armies, fires, or from geological catastrophes such as earthquakes. The knowledge of the past has suffered greatly. Examples include the famous Great Library of Alexandria in Egypt, the Imperial Library of Constantinople, the Library of Celsus at Ephesus, the Royal Library of Lisbon, the unknown numbers of Maya codices, and the many great libraries found within the empires who once ruled the areas in and around the Fertile Crescent. It is not only the acts of humans and the catastrophes which could be blamed for the loss of knowledge, though, as written documents were more often than not imprinted on perishable materials. Decaying papyrus and wood would have not stood the test of time unless in very particular circumstances, such as the discovery of the Dead Sea Scrolls. In such rare cases, this would generally require an absence of insects, water, UV light, and oxygen exposure. Egypt has been fortunate enough to have many inscriptions of their culture imprinted on stone, many of which were stored away in sealed tombs. For those that were not so lucky, such texts were simply lost. What knowledge which might have been retained of Atlantis in some of these libraries will never be known. One could imagine that there would have been many more of the Greek and Roman myths that we're familiar with today. From direct references in ancient sources themselves, we are confident in the fact that many have indeed been lost to us. If luck would have been on our side, we could have also retained a proper history of the Phoenicians, the Tartessians, and many other magnificent civilizations who have left us with next to nothing as their grand workings and belief systems. It is important to note that Plato's Timaeus and Critias dialogues have the story coming from an actual source document. Their narrator of the story refers to this mysterious reference in an attempt to remind himself of the fine details before he returns to give the full story to his audience. Clearly, there was at least one source document concerning Atlantis, and there is no reason to think that it was the only one. Perhaps one day, by chance, another reference to Atlantis will be found during the excavations of ruins in Greece, Egypt, or elsewhere. It is also possible that Atlantis, under a completely different name, yet retaining the very similar details that we have, will one day eventually be found.